um, a deputy got arrested for smuggling heroin in using coded talk and then using Pringle potato chip holders, I guess the cylindrical ones,
Yeah.
to put the heroin in to bring it to the Mexican Mafia affiliated inmates.
Basically, he was using his lunch. He was bringing it in forms of his lunch. You know?
I'm glad you said that because I was thinking, ain't Pringle's not on the commissary?
No. That was his personal. See,
Right.
they're gonna. He was bringing in his stuff to eat. Right. That's pretty much like in the feds. You know, I don't know if this was state or whatever, but they bring in. See, they walk through a metal detector as well. They go through the metal detector, and they have who's ever in the control booth. They see, hey, you got something on you, but they backpacks. Like I don't know if y'all. I don't know how the state situation is, but when you see them walking when they finna go to their unit, they got their backpack on, a nice sized backpack. Some of them, a lot of them are military, ex-military or whatever. So they have really big backpacks, and you don't know what's in them backpacks. But some of them officers, like when I was in line parking, we had an officer bringing in phones. He would bring them suckers in. He was smart. This officer wouldn't sell just anybody a phone. You had to be a stumped down dude that he knew was solid, But he ended up getting cracked, I remember when Meech came to Lompoc, I was already. He came like 2 months after they moved me, and I got I went to the hole for a fight, and when I got back there, all my buddies he's like, yeah, Meech on the yard now, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. And it was like, yeah. Next thing you know, he walked by. They had grabbed him for a phone through the same officer, but he didn't get in trouble because I think they pushed him right out. I don't think he even did over a week in the hole at that time or something. I was still back there, and I know he was gone. You don't know unless you on your door watching everything, and then the 6 different wings.
Yeah, so yeah, that's what grabbed my attention because I know Pringles is not on the commissary, so that was in his personal lunch, and he brung it in. And then what you were saying, Alex?
Well, let me read this article real quick. The 39-year-old L.A. County sheriff deputy accused of smuggling heroin to inmates reportedly conspired with gang shot callers using a secret code and tubes of Pringle chips to move drugs, according to a new report. The law enforcement records reviewed by the L.A. Times arrested Deputy Michael Meiser on April 30th, 2024. They allege he brought more than a pound of black heroin hidden inside 2 cans of Pringles onto jail grounds shortly before he was taken into custody. Meiser, who was assigned to a special unit that monitored gang activity at the North County Correctional Facility in Castaic, which is part of our LA County jail system, is among 18 people indicted in the smuggling operation. And they are linking the Mexican Mafia and 2 specific guys, a guy named Jose Rodriquez, 47, and Jackie Triplett, 40, for being a part of this entire operation. It's crazy.
NCCF, that's Supermax facility.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's up at
Magic Mountain.
Wayside, basically. Right?
Yeah, so like they say that what you just said, that NCCF, that's Supermax facility at Wayside.
Also, it says here that they intercepted phone calls. They don't say if there were cell phones or just regular phone calls. But 2 months later, Rodriguez was recorded on a call using coded language to have 6,000 transferred to the Cash App of Meiser, that's the deputy's brother-in-law. So
They done got him hooked up.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I guess Meiser was like, "Don't use my Cash App. Send it to my brother-in-law."
Exactly.
But hey, it just seems like there's too many eyes watching, and the feds. Well, this is not a Fed case. Is this a Fed case?
Oh, the Fed's gonna be on that.
This is I believe a state case.
Not for long.
The Fed's gonna pick that up.
Yeah. Regardless, it just seems like it's really difficult to try to outdo all the eyes that the law enforcement has in today's current time. And it was kind of getting like that in the early 2000s, cameras and and all the surveillance.
Oh, right now today though it's so
Yeah,
so much.
it's on another level now in the 2020s with trying to get away with some of these hustles. It's almost impossible.
It is. It's basically impossible. That's why I try to tell young guys, man, just find another way because it is not. Just let it go.
When I was in the county jail, it wasn't on cameras. The only facility that had cameras was East Max facility and Wayside. And East Max, although it had cameras, that was the most violent and turned up facility to be in Wayside. But now they got cameras all over the county. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's cameras everywhere now, but there's always like a dark spot, a gray,
a
blind spot. Yeah, there's always a blind spot. Like I was in the projects in the Jordan Downs where they got cameras everywhere, but they're like, hey, let's go over here. We could do the interview over here in this little area right here. They know where the cameras aren't showing. They know all the blind spots. So I'm sure in the jails there's always a little blind spot to go to. Do all the federal facilities had? I know when FG was on here, he did a lot of time in Victorville. He said they had cameras everywhere, but if you wanted to get out of the cameras, you go all the way to the other side of the field somewhere, and you're out of the sight.
Like in Lime Pod. Well, it's cameras, but it's also them trucks is moving. They got trucks. The guard, not the ones that's up in the towers, but in an actual truck with an AR-15 or whatever long rifle they got. So they just patrol. Some of them be parked, just watching. If there's one parked on the north side of the yard, it might be one parked on the east side of the yard too. And when he started taking off, coming over there, they coming to the east side of the yard. The other one would go to the opposite, just to keep eyes all over the yard. And then they got the towers, then they got the cameras, then they got officers on the ground, It's always rec officers that's out there on the grounds,
Hey, this Deputy Meiser was also, they started tailing him. It says on the morning of his arrest, Deputy Meiser from his Lancaster home went to a gas station. He left his Lancaster home, went to a gas station in Valencia, where a person in an SUV passed him a Sprouts grocery bag with 1.1 pounds of black tar heroin wrapped in a plastic bag. And they were surveilling him while he was in the middle of these transactions.
Yeah, that's how they do. They want to see what they would do is
he done.
He's gonna lead them to something else.
He done.
He's done, but he's not. He's gonna tell. I mean,
he's still done.
It's gonna be something, but he's gonna tell on somebody to get a lesser charge or whatever. That's just my feelings. I hate to do him like that, but you're police.
I ain't gonna keep it. I'm gonna keep it real.
He's gonna tell. So who was the person? He may not even know that person, but he's gonna give him everything he got.
New tonight at 9, the LA County DA's office charging 18 people accused in a drug smuggling operation into LA County jails. And KCAL News assignment editor Mike Rogers is at the desk. Mike, a sheriff's deputy has been caught up in all of this.
That's right. A sheriff's deputy is one of the 18 people that have been charged. A grand jury indictment returned today, charging them with a very sophisticated drug smuggling operation, according to the LA County District Attorney's Office. Now, the deputy caught up in this as well, saying over the last several years, he has been part of this drug ring that they say is an operation involving the Mexican Mafia associates inside the LA County jails. Also talk about a lot of North County Correctional Facility. Now, we have told you multiple times about these different incidents at the jails, including this one. This one was an overdose that led to a fatality later last year. The DA's office, Sheriff's Department, not saying tonight whether or not the arrest that they've made has any connection to what happened there at Men's Central Jail. The primary target of this operation appears to be North County Correctional Facility. That is where one of the deputies was arrested. According to the indictment, it says the deputy was actually smuggling a pound of black tar heroin into the jail in a Pringles container. I'll show you a statement from the LA County Sheriff's Department. They are working with the DA's office on this, saying, quote, "We arrested the employee on April 30th for felony charges. The employee is currently relieved of duty. We hold our employees to the highest standards and expect them to safeguard individuals within our custody care. And when they violate the law, they will be held accountable." Pat, tonight, this is an indictment from a grand jury. This case will now go to trial, but 18 people caught up in what the DA is calling a sophisticated drug ring, bringing drugs inside the LA County jails.
If I was a pig, right? If I was a pig, I'd probably be doing the same shit he doing. Bringing dope in and shit.
Man, them dudes, just think. Like in the feds, them phones go from, what?
4,000?
Yeah, 4,000 to 8. All the way to 8. And they keep them recharged and all of that stuff for you. So to keep them recharged, they charge them more. Charge you, it might be $100 a month. I need $250 a month. So that's residual income for these damn police ass dudes.
Yeah, man.
Well, his next court date is March 27th in downtown L.A. And this article does not say if this is a state case or a Fed case.
They're picking that up.
Yeah. Yeah, they end up going to his house and searching his house, and they found money, and this guy's done.
He's done.
Yeah. There's no way out of
If
this.
they find it. See, the thing is, the reason why I say the feds is picking it up, and I don't want to say it's too big for the state. It's not too big for the state, but the feds gonna grab it because of with how the situation unfolded, and that he won't get enough time in the state. They know when they gonna hit him where it hurt, the feds. So they gonna, we'll take it, and they push stuff over,
Do they ever put these crooked cops that get convicted on the same prison yards with you guys in the feds? Have you ever?
I was on the yard at the Lompoc Low with a officer. Yes, but
At a low, he's gonna get treated okay, right?
yeah. I mean, don't think because of the low where the Lompoc Low, it actually it was more fights and stuff like that on the low than probably on the medium to be real because of
More structure on the medium.
No, the medium, it was gonna get out of hand. It was gonna be more stabbings, more trying to kill you type of stuff.
So some of these cops might be a little nervous, even on a low.
Well, they wouldn't like an officer ain't gonna qualify to go to a medium or a pen unless they did something really. And then they got in the feds. They have I know Coleman. One of the Colemans is like what they call a state, a SNY yard or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's a situation like that to
For cops.
for not just cops, just anybody that
Yeah.
might be hot, pretty much.
I wonder if that's where Reggie Wright was at. Reggie Wright Jr.
He was at a camp at Water. The camp at Water.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's just a regular situation.
Yeah.
So hold on. Reggie Wright Jr. wasn't PC'd up.
I don't
You,
think so.
you don't have to be PC
At a
up
camp.
at a camp,
Yeah,
man.
at a camp.
Oh, that's Disneyland.
And super.
Okay.
I was at the camp for 5 months. I made it 5 months. And then somebody tried me. and-
Convicts like you don't last in them type of
Man, I hate to say it like that because I don't want to look bad. But if you like right now, you look my name up, it'll tell you about what I did at the camp, and it disfigured somebody pretty much, and I ain't proud of it. But he lied. He swung on me.
Okay, but I just looked up the case. It is actually being prosecuted by the L.A. District Attorney's Office, so it's a state case, believe it or not. But I think you're right. I think the feds are going to come
Yeah,
in
they're
here
gonna turn that
and
on.
want to investigate these deputies.